Hey everyone, how's it going? My name's Cloud, and welcome to my Locals Retro for week 1 of the OP11 Meta. It's a very exciting time for the Western OPCG scene. We are having our very own unique meta thanks to the new starter decks that were released alongside OP11. Going into this first week of this seemingly early wild meta for OP11, to no surprise, I played Green-Yellow Yamato. The new starter deck for Green-Yellow Yamato introduced some new support cards which are really good for the leader. So let's waste no time and move on to the deck list. As usual, I'll just be highlighting some of the key cards and strategies for this overview, but if you'd like me to go into a full deck list breakdown sometime, let me know in the comments below. For the first week of OP11 Locals, I went with what I'd like to say is a very standard Wano build for Green-Yellow Yamato, using the new support cards from ST28. If I had to categorize it, I would say this is a mid-range build for Green-Yellow Yamato. Starting off, we are playing triple searchers in the form of 1-cost Momonosuke, which is our usual tap searcher, 1-cost Otama, which is also a 2k, which is very nice, and the new Yamato from ST28. These, of course, would let me search my deck for Land of Wano type cards, and we have a lot of those, 45 in total. But of the three, let's look at the new Yamato searcher in detail. This Yamato is a 1-cost 0k power strike character with 1k counter that says, Dawn 2, your turn. This character gains plus 3000 power, and also on play, look at 5 cards from the top of your deck. Reveal up to 1 Land of Wano type card with a cost of 2 or more and add it to your hand, then place the rest at the bottom of your deck in any order. So not only will it replace itself when I am able to go search for another Land of Wano card, it solves one of the main issues I've had with Green-Yellow Yamato, which is that early on into the game, I rarely have any characters to attach Dawn to. So with this card, I can play it for 1 Dawn on my first turn, and then later, using leader ability, I can attach 2 Dawn to it, and it's suddenly a 5k attacker. This has been a very powerful card for Yamato, and I am loving it. Moving on, we are playing the new Izo from ST28. Izo is a 2-cost 1k power range character with 1k counter that says, Dawn 2, this character gains blocker, and then also on play, your Land of Wano type leader gains banish during this turn. So not only does this card give my leader banish, this card also gives Yamato access to a very cheap blocker, since, kind of like the starter deck 28 Yamato, you can easily attach 2 Dawn to it using leader ability, and it will become a blocker. So later on into the game, drop it down for 2, attach 2 Dawn, and we've got ourselves a very cheap chunk blocker to take some hits. I would love to run Onami alongside this for maybe 6 to 8 banish options, but I needed room for the other Wano cards. Going into our mid to late game, we have our usual choices of 5-cost Kozuki Momonosuke, which is a blocker that also gives us the option to heal one of our Land of Wano type characters into our life. And of course, 7-cost Hody Jones, everyone knows this one, Rush, and then being able to rest 2 of my opponent's characters or Dawn, very powerful. But we also get a new option in the form of Kozuki Momonosuke from starter deck 28. Kozuki Momonosuke is a 6-cost 7k power slash character with no counter that says, your turn, if you have 2 or less life cards, your leader gains plus 1000 power. And then also activate main. Once per turn, you may return 2 total of your currently given Dawn cards to your cost area rested. This character gains rush and plus 1000 power during this turn. This card is a great rush alternative to Hody Jones in the mid to late game. Not only does it just freely give our leader 1000 power if we're at 2 or less life, but also we get to have a lot of synergy with our leader ability. So if we use leader ability, attach 2 of our rested Dawn to any of our other characters, we can use Momonosuke's ability to return those 2 Dawns and give it rush and 1k power. Alternatively, if you already have 2 Dawns attached, you can use Momonosuke's ability to take those 2 Dawns out of the attached character, or from the attached character, put it back into your Dawn area rested. That would give Momonosuke rush and 1k power, but then now we can also use Yamato's ability to take those 2 Dawn and attach it to another character. So really good synergy there. And so, not to mention, this first part of the ability, the one that says if you have 2 or less life cards, your leader gains plus 1000 power, it can actually stack. If we're able to get multiple Momonosuke's out on the field, our leader can go from a 5k attacker to a 6k attacker and maybe a 7k attacker. Even higher if you have more. Really good card, really love it. Again, it's just a great alternative to Hody Jones when, we need a rush option but we're too scared to take a life from Hody Jones' ability. It's worth noting that I'm also only running 2 Hody Jones, and that is because we are running a fairly heavy draw package with this deck. We have 4-cost Kozuki Hiyori, which is able to let me draw 1 card, and then also the 1-cost You Can Be My Samurai, which if I rest 2 characters, I'll be able to draw 2 cards. I'm hoping to take advantage of a lot of the low-cost cards I'm playing, like our Searchers or even Hiyori, and also the 4-cost Hiyori, to be able to use You Can Be My Samurai, rest those cards, and be able to draw a ton of cards from my deck, and specifically Hody Jones. Finally, the last card I want to talk about is the 5-cost Yamato. This Yamato is a 5-cost character with 5k power and 1k counter, and it says this card's name is also treated as Kozuki Oden, has double attack and banish already in the card. I have 2 reasons why I'm playing this card. The first one is because I'm playing 4-cost Kozuki Hiyori, I just wanted more targets available to benefit off of Hiyori's ability to cheat out 5-cost characters. The other reason is with green-purple Luffy, blue-purple Luffy, and some of the other other decks in the meta that don't have too many removal tools, I had a feeling that this card could pose a huge threat to them since they would have to deal with both this card's banished double attack and my leader's double attack, which can also be banished thanks to the Izo. At worst, it's still a 1k counter, and my opponent would have to use their turn removing it, which buys me some time for some of my other plays, and getting to the late game in general. But yeah, that's pretty much the deck list for this first week. Here's the full deck list already on screen for you to view again, and you'll be able to find this deck list in the description below. Shout out to Eggman for this deck builder. You can find it on his website at Eggman Events. So how did we do for week 1 of the OP11 meta? We had 23 players, 4 rounds, and I went 2-2. Here were my matchups. Round 1 was against Green-Yellow Trafalgar Law. Round 2 was against Blue-Purple Monkey D. Luffy. Round 3 was against Green-Purple Monkey D. Luffy. And round 4 was against Purple-Black Monkey D. Luffy. Against Green-Yellow Law, I won. Against Blue-Purple Luffy, I also won. Against Green-Purple Luffy, I lost. And against Purple-Black Luffy, I also lost. In order to keep this video on the shorter side, I'm not going to review each matchup right now, but I'll be posting all of my matchups, win or loss, with my VOD review following this video. So be sure to check it out. Now, let's talk about what went well, what didn't go well, and what's next for me. What went well? This deck list was a blast to play. I found it really fun, and I really liked how cohesive it felt compared to some of my past Yamato deck lists. The Searchers helped keep my hand size relatively healthy, and improved the consistency from game to game. I thought I had plenty of counters throughout the deck, and I thought I had really good early, mid, and late game options to pick from. The new starter deck cards were a great addition for Green-Yellow Yamato. The 1-cost Yamato solves a lot of problems by being both a searcher and an attacker that I can play on my first turn. The 2-cost Izo fills in the Onami spot very nicely, giving me the ability to give my leader banish. But more importantly, it was really nice having a cheap chunk blocker that I could play alongside the 5-cost Momonosuke. And finally, the 6-cost Momonosuke was really good at helping me apply mid to late game pressure without risking life like Hody Jones does. Overall, I'm actually really happy with the leaders I played against this week. Whether or not it was a good matchup for Green-Yellow Yamato, I'm just happy I got to experience how well this deck list can perform against some of the top end of the current meta, since I got to play against 3 of the 4 purple Lufis and the rising popularity of Green Yellow Law. What didn't go well? The only thing that stood out to me the most this week was my matchup with Green Purple Luffy. Somehow I drew all of my non-counter cards despite running a good amount of counter in my deck. So I've gotta just say that that was a very unlucky game for me. Finally, what's next for me? After this week, I already know what adjustments I want to make to the deck. Plus, I want to put in some other cards that I want to try. So I'm going to be revising my deck list in preparation for next week. But we'll be sticking with the standard mid-range Yamato that I'm doing right now. And of course, I'm going to continue working through all of my backlog of videos and get them posted as soon as I can. That's going to do it for week 1 of the OP11 Meta. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in week 2. Until next time, remember, keep your minds fresh and your spirits free. See ya!